Assalamu alaikum. This is Protusha Burwal welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Government starts implementing election pledges, says Prime Minister Raater, while launching monthly honorarium scheme for religious leaders. BNP repurposing fascist state machinery for public welfare, says Information Minister. Nationwide canal excavation program to kick off March 16. Mirasharais Bamun Sundar Canal to lead Chattogram launch. Zakat is recipient's right, not a favor, says State Minister Mir Hilal Uddin. Iran vows to reduce US oil infrastructure to ashes if Kurg Island facilities are attacked. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Raater inaugurated a government program to provide monthly honorariums to heads and assistants of different religious institutions of all faiths across the country. The Premier opened the program by pressing the button of IBAS system to send the honorariums to the bank accounts of respective imams, muazzins and khadims of mosques and heads and assistant heads of other religious institutions through EFT system under a pilot scheme at a function at the Osmani Memorial Auditorium here this morning. Earlier, the Prime Minister also distributed the checks for the honorarium among imams, muazzins and khadims of mosques and heads and assistant heads of other religious institutions. In the first phase, a total of 16,992 individuals are receiving the allowance. This includes personnel from 4,908 mosques, 990 temples and 144 Buddhist monasteries. Imams will receive 5,000 taka, muazzins 3,000 taka and khadims 2,000 taka monthly. Priests will receive 5,000 taka and sabbats 3,000 taka. Buddhist monasteries principals will receive 5,000 taka and vice principals 3,000 taka. During the inauguration, Prime Minister Raater emphasized that the government began fulfilling its election manifestos begun. The voting ink had been faded from the citizens' fingernails.
তারা প্রত্যেকে ইনশাআল্লাহ পাবেন। আগামী 14 এপ্রিল তথা পয়লা বৈশাখ থেকে আমরা ইনশাআল্লাহ ফার্মার্স কার্ড বা কৃষক কার্ডের পাইলট প্রজেক্ট চালু করব। ইনশাআল্লাহ আগামী 16 মার্চ দিনাজপুর থেকে শুরু হচ্ছে আমাদের খাল খনন কর্মসূচি। আজ থেকে খতিব, ইমাম, মুয়াজ্জিম এবং অন্য ধর্মের ধর্মীয় গুরুদের জন্য আর্থিক সহায়তা বা সম্মানী কর্মসূচির পাইলট প্রজেক্ট চালু হলো। দেশের প্রতিটি নাগরিকের রাজনৈতিক এবং অর্থনৈতিক ক্ষমতায়ন নিশ্চিত করার মাধ্যমে আমরা আমাদের দেশকে একটি শক্তিশালী ভিত্তির উপরে প্রতিষ্ঠিত করতে চাই, যাতে করে আর কোনো ফ্যাসিবাদ কিংবা তাদের তাবেদার অপশক্তি মানুষের স্বাধীনতা কেড়ে নিতে না পারে, কথা বলার অধিকার কেড়ে নিতে না পারে। আমি একজন রাজনৈতিক কর্মী হিসেবে দৃঢ়ভাবে বিশ্বাস করি যে দেশের নাগরিকদেরকে যদি দুর্বল করে রাখা হয় তাহলে রাষ্ট্র কখনোই শক্তিশালী হতে পারে না। এবং সেই জন্যই আমাদের ইচ্ছা, আমাদের দর্শন, আমাদের পরিকল্পনা বাংলাদেশের নাগরিকদেরকে আমরা রাজনৈতিক এবং অর্থনৈতিকভাবে ধীরে ধীরে শক্তিশালীভাবে গড়ে তুলতে চাই। যদি আমরা রাষ্ট্রকে শক্তিশালী করতে চাই, নাগরিক হিসেবে আমরা যদি যে যার অবস্থান থেকে রাষ্ট্র এবং সমাজের প্রতি যার যার সঠিক দায়িত্বটি পালন করি, আমি এই দেশের নাগরিক হিসাবে একজন রাজনৈতিক কর্মী হিসাবে দৃঢ়ভাবে বিশ্বাস করে ইনশাআল্লাহ দ্রুততম সময়ের ভিতরে আমরা রাজনৈতিকভাবে এবং অর্থনৈতিকভাবে একটি সুন্দর স্বনির্ভর আমাদের প্রত্যাশিত বাংলাদেশ গড়ার কাজে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে পারবো। দুনিয়ার কল্যাণের পাশাপাশি আখিরাতের কল্যাণের জন্য প্রার্থনার কথা পবিত্র কোরআনে কারিমে উল্লেখ রয়েছে। ইহকালীন পরকালীন কল্যাণ বিষয়ক নির্দেশনা নিঃসন্দেহে অন্য ধর্মাবলম্বী ধর্মীয় বিধিবিধান অনুযায়ী নির্দেশিত রয়েছে। সুতরাং ধর্মীয় বিধিবিধানের আলোকেই আপনারা আপনাদের শিক্ষা, দীক্ষা ও যোগ্যতা এবং অভিজ্ঞতাকে কিভাবে আরো বেশি করে দেশ এবং জনগণের কল্যাণের প্রয়োগ করতে পারেন সেই চিন্তা এবং চেষ্টাও অব্যাহত রাখা অত্যন্ত জরুরি এই দেশের জন্য। অর্থনৈতিকভাবে সমৃদ্ধ রাষ্ট্র মানুষের জীবনে হয়তো আর্থিক স্বাচ্ছন্দ্য নিশ্চিত করে, কিন্তু ধৈর্য, সততা, কৃতজ্ঞতা বোধ, শ্রদ্ধা, আনুগত্য, সংহতি, সহনশীলতা, উদারতা, বন্ধুত্ব, বিনয়, দায় কিংবা দয়া, এই সমস্ত বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো অর্জন ছাড়া একজন ব্যক্তি মানবিক গুণাবলী সম্পন্ন হয়ে উঠতে পারেন না। এই ধরনের মানবিক বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো অর্জনের জন্য ধর্মীয়, সামাজিক, নৈতিক মূল্যবোধে উজ্জীবিত হওয়া অত্যন্ত জরুরি বলে আমি মনে করি।
LGRD and Cooperatives Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir spoke at the function as the guest of honor and Prime Minister's advisor for public administration and president of cell formed to implement the honorarium providing program. Muhammad Ismail Zabiullah attended the function as the special guest with Religious Affairs Minister Qazi Shah Mufazzal Hussain in the chair. Imams, muezzins and priests working in religious institutions play an important role in society. However, even after many years since independence, there have been no government allowance system for them until now. In fulfilling its election promises and ensuring the economic security of marginalized communities, the government has been implementing various social protection programs rapidly since coming to power. As part of these efforts, the allowance program has finally been introduced. After the inauguration, those engaged in religious services expressed joy and optimism upon receiving the allowance for the first time. Through this allowance program, imams, muezzins and priests working in mosques and other religious institutions across the country are receiving financial assistance. Many say that this support will bring some relief to their livelihoods and further encourage them in carrying out their religious duties. Religious leaders hope that the current government will take new initiatives for the development of religious institutions as well. Information and Broadcasting Minister Johiruddin Shapun said Bangladesh Nationalist Party is repurposing state machinery previously used by the fascist government against the people to instead serve public welfare. He remarks this at an Eid goods distribution program at Uttara in the capital. The minister said the BNP government has quickly implemented election promises through initiatives like the Family Card and Farmer Card to empower citizens. Shapun emphasized that the party does not seek revenge for past actions. Instead, justice will be pursued strictly through the rule of law. He stated that no crime will be allowed to expire, signaling a commitment to holding past offenders accountable for their actions. The government's canal excavation program is starting in Chattogram like the rest of the country on March 16. Initially, 3 kilometers of the Bamun Sundar Canal will be excavated in Miroshorai. Deputy Commissioner Johidul Islam Mia informed this at a press briefing at the city circuit house today. Deputy Commissioner said this excavation will bring 5,000 hectares of agricultural land under cultivation by improving irrigation and water management. Regarding the Shitakunda Jungle Solimpur area, the Deputy Commissioner confirmed the existence of a government master plan focused on both development and security. State Minister for Land and Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs Minister Barrister Mir Muhammad Hilal Uddin said, Zakat is an obligatory duty for Muslims and should be viewed as a right of recipient rather than an act of kindness by the giver. Speaking as the chief guest at a government Zakat fund distribution ceremony organized by the Hathajara Upazila administration, the minister remarked, Zakat recipients provide givers an opportunity to fulfill their religious accountability. During the event, financial assistance of Taka 10,000 was handed over to each of the 47 selected needy families at the Upazila Purishad conference room. Earlier, the state minister inaugurated a cleanliness drive within the Hathajara municipality. He emphasized that government initiatives alone are insufficient for a clean environment, stating that cleanliness drive must be transformed into a social movement. Only through collective public participation will this mission be truly successful. As part of his visit, he inspected the madrasa areas in Kamal area and Shahjalal area of Fotika. Barrister Mir Hilal distributed rice under the VGF program at the Fatehpur Union Parishad, ensuring that poor and helpless families receive support ahead of the upcoming Eid al-Fitr. He also conducted an inspection of the Hathajara Upazila Land Office to oversee local land management services. Upazila Nirbahi Officer Mohammad Abdullah Al Mumin, BNP Central Committee member Shathi Uday Kushum Burwa, along with local political leaders and government officials were present at that time. The Chattogram District Administration has kicked off a month-long cleanliness and awareness campaign to raise dengue awareness. Divisional Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Ziauddin and Deputy Commissioner Jahidul Islam Mia inaugurated the cleanliness drive at DC Hill in the city today. At that time, they said that the incidence of dengue has increased in the city in recent times and special campaigns will be conducted by identifying places where the prevalence of Aedes mosquitoes is high. They called for keeping roof gardens, country yards, tubs and the surroundings of the house clean so that dengue does not become an epidemic. Later, an awareness rally was taken out from the city's circuit house. Under the slogan Saturday's Promise, Keep Your Home Clean, Chattogram City Corporation has launched a massive cleanliness and mosquito control campaign. The initiative follows a direct instruction from the Prime Minister to conduct city-wide cleaning every Saturday. City Mayor Dr. Shahadat Hussain inaugurated the program at the Chattogram Medical College premises today. During the launch, the mayor emphasized that while the city corporation is strengthening its efforts to ensure a healthy environment, the mission cannot succeed without public participation. Now, international news. President Donald Trump said U.S. forces obliterated Iranian military target on Karg Island, located off the southwest coast of Iran, and warned oil infrastructure there could be attacked next. Al Jazeera's correspondent in Tehran says huge blast rocked central Tehran after thousands rallied in Iran's capital in a show of support for Palestinians and in defiance of attacks by the U.S. and Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that his country's Air Force has bombed military facilities on Iran's Karg Island but has not so far spread oil infrastructure there. In so many ways, this is an escalation because of the significance of Karg Island for Iran. Trump described it as Iran's crown jewel, and he wasn't entirely exaggerating. At least 1,444 people has been killed and 18,551 injured in U.S.-Israel attacks on Iran since February 28. Lebanon's health ministry says Israeli attacks have been killed at least 773 people. U.S. military says 6 killed after aircraft went down in western Iraq. Oil prices stay above $100 per barrel as Strait of Hormuz effectively closed. Cuban officials have held talks with the United States. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel confirmed for the first time on Friday as the island faces an economic crisis and intense pressure from Donald Trump. There are international factors that have facilitated these talks, Diaz-Canel said in a video broadcast Friday on national television, describing the purpose of these talks to identify the bilateral problems that need a solution. Trump on Friday confirmed Diaz-Canel's announcement, reposting an article about it on his Truth social platform.